Welcome to the 2020 Four Clubs in 4 Weeks, presented by Schomer's Wiener Dog Farm. We begin at the top of the list with the JWalkers, the title series champions from last year. Right now, I have with me Slingshot's GM, Andrew Leaches. I have Pentateuch's GM, Chase Pritz, and filling in for the GMs for the Harpers, who couldn't be here today, I have first-round pick Marley Schomer. Welcome, guys. Welcome to this dissection.
Thank you for letting me come there, James. I appreciate it.
No problem. Last season, this JWalkers team was literally unstoppable. They went a perfect 8-0. They had a plus 52 run differential. They had 15 homers. The list goes on and on with the stats they led in as far as team stats. And ultimately, they won their division. They won the title series at the end of the season. So, Marley, I'll ask you for this. What exactly made that JWalkers team so different and so special, set apart from all the other teams in the league last year?
I feel it was the chemistry of the team. It felt like a big family when they were there. And also, there was no errors in their game. They made sure their game was solidified, and that's how they pulled out the wins.
So this offseason, coming off a championship run, this team was hit hard in free agency. Just looking at this list, they lost some key players like Anthony Lowry, Stevie Pritz, Ali Lowry. From a production standpoint, this JWalker team is losing 7 home runs and a 720 batting average collectively. Chase, how does this JWalkers team make up for the loss of offensive production this season?
They got Joe in the offseason. He's a power person. He didn't make some of the slingshot games last game. They got Chad Renna, and he made it to the semi-pros. So we'll see if he still has the talent in him. And the JWalkers drafted some of the players they had returning from last year. So it could be a still run for the JWalkers.
Andrew, question for you. Do you buy into the title series hangover? Do you still think that this JWalkers team can sustain the success they had last year for this year?
Well, James, I don't personally think it's going to be a hangover myself. With the players they got Trevor Mason. With him, you can never count that team out. They got Trevor Mason. He's a heck of a player. The draft, they got Chad. Like Chase said, we're going to see how he does in the game coming up. And they got previous people also. Chase, I met Georgia Schomer. She did great pitching last year. We'll see if she can still pitch again. Still has some of the same people. So I don't think it's going to be a hangover. I think there's still going to be a pretty good team and a team to watch out for this year.
I actually had some time to catch up with the general manager of the JWalkers, Trevor Mason. This is what he said. Now with me is title series champion Trevor Mason. How are you doing?
Living the dream, brother. How are you?
I'm doing great. What a season it was for you and your team last year. You guys just dominated the regular season, the postseason, and the title series. Summarize your feeling of how amazing last season was for you.
It's unreal. It felt great, something that everyone always dreams of at the end of the day, hoping to be the championship team, and that's who we are. And it's like a dream that you're still living.
Fast forward to this upcoming 2020 season. If you look at everything that happened in your off season, you were hit pretty hard with free agency. You lost some key players. How are you planning as the general manager of the JWalkers to fill those gaps this season?
I was just trying to fill in with what we got in the draft. I think we got some young athletes. So we lost some good fielders, some good hitters. So we just got to use what we have. I think we had a solid draft pick this year. So we just got to use the talent that we got and try to train them and work with them and see if they can replace what's missing. So, yeah.
How confident are you with the blend of some change and some familiar faces? How do you think those two aspects will work together for your season this year?
I just have a really good feeling. Joe Schrum and Hunter Tate were a huge pickup in the offseason because I grew up with those guys. And I know their work ethic, and I know how to play with them since we were young. It's good to have people you already have chemistry with, such as Ralph Miller and Jordan Schomer, because they already have that experience with the championship team, and there's not really much to work with them, just to clean up some little minor things. So I'm pretty confident this year with the team we got. So I'm not overall too worried, but I think we got a good squad on our hands.
And leading by example seems to be, I guess, your forte. You led your team last year with 8 home runs. You were pretty solid in your stats for the majority of last season. What is it going to take for you to sustain that kind of production?
You just got to be patient at the plate and find your pitch and just realize that hit for contact. And if the ball has enough power to carry out, then you did your job. But the big thing is just get on base and get runners in.
My last question for you is, can you go all the way again?
That's the goal, man. We're on the chopping block. I guess everyone's got all eyes on us this year. 19-0 last year, pretty good season, but I feel pretty confident that we're going to be a tough team to beat this year. So that's our goal at the end of the day, just to keep winning. And if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. So walk on, man.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you're staying healthy with your family in this quarantine during COVID-19, but we hope that we can get you back on the field and see what the season has in hold for your team.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. That was Trevor Mason, the GM of the JWalkers, speaking with us here on 4 Clubs in 4 Weeks. And then finally, this question's for all of you. We'll start with Chase. With a fair assessment, what do you think will be the final outcome for the 2020 regular season for the JWalkers this year?
I want to say they're going to go 4-2, depending on how my team reacts to their team, because we verse them 3 times a year. I'm thinking they're going to win the division.
Andrew?
I would say they're going to be going 3-3 this year. They're going to make it to the wild card in the playoffs, but they're going to lose.
And why do you think that?
Well, I think there's some other stronger teams. Do you want me to say what I'm thinking, like teams-wise and stuff? I personally think the Toops are going to beat them in their division, and it's come down to them in the slingshots in the wild card. And the slingshots are going to beat them in the wild card.
Murley, what's your thoughts on that?
I go along with Andrew here. I feel the talent has been equally dispersed through the league. I feel like it's going to be a tough year for them, tough division. So I'm going to stick with 3-3.
Well, I thank you guys for dissecting the team with me. I think you guys gave an honest, fair assessment of what you think the JWalkers are going to be like this year. Thank you guys for joining us today, and we wish you the best with your clubs, and stay safe during this quarantine.
Thank you, James. I appreciate it.